Welcome back to the channel. Today we have so much work to do. We have so many parts to install, so we're gonna get right into it. Honestly, I would say the Civic is probably 90% done. We finally got the exhaust for the K-Swap Civic. This is a generic DNA cheap exhaust. I think I paid over 120 bucks for this, so very cheap for a full exhaust system. But we are gonna modify this because my only concern with this project is I don't want this thing sounding like a fart can. So that typical Honda noise, I definitely do not want that typical Honda noise. And what I think we're going to do is, currently we do have a 1320 header for the K-Swap. So it looks something like that. It's a 1320 header. And that header actually has a V-band attachment at the very end. So we do have this right here. We're going to take this generic DNA exhaust to the muffler shop, have them cut it and re-weld this flange on there so we can use the V-band attachment, and hopefully that will fix my issue. That'll allow me to attach it. I'm just hoping it doesn't sound like a fart can. If it ends up sounding like a fart can, we're gonna put something, I don't know, maybe another muffler, a bigger one, because I definitely don't want this sounding like a typical Honda fart can. And my whole challenge is for this thing to sound somewhat quiet, somewhat clean. So I do want some noise, but I don't want the typical, you know, Honda fart sound. So yeah, this is a mission for today. We're just gonna mock it up, put 90% of it on the car, and then we're gonna take the rest of it to the exhaust shop and hopefully they can weld it for me tomorrow, and then we can attach it fully, and this thing will have a full exhaust because we're not doing an up pipe anymore. That's childish now. I kind of outgrew that. So like I said, again, the mission for today is to kind of mock this up, put it in the car, and have 90% of it done. And one of these right here is gonna go to the exhaust shop. I believe it's this one right here. They're gonna have to cut, you see, I don't even know because I gotta see where these hang, but I believe they're gonna cut this side, this flange here, attach the V-band, and then that should allow me to be able to run a full exhaust, because I'm excited to have a full exhaust back on this car. The whole up pipe thing, I outgrew it. So let's get started. Enough talking, let's jack this up and start mocking all this together. I can't believe I'm excited over an eBay exhaust. We have the cap back on, and honestly, for $125, this thing fit pretty nicely. Like, zero complaints whatsoever. It's not touching very flush. It fit perfectly. The hangers fit perfectly. We have to do the next part, and then the final part we will do hopefully later this week, because we do have to get it modified. But overall, man, this is nice, man. It fits good. No complaints here. I hope this thing just doesn't sound like a fart can. I've been told it probably will, but whatever. We just need this thing running. Later on, we'll weld a bigger muffler to the car and call it a day. So now, I think the next piece is probably going to be this S-shaped one here. I think it's, you see, it's confusing. I don't know if it's probably going to, I have no idea if it goes like this or if it goes like this. I'm going to see where the hanger is. Maybe, I think this one for sure is this one, and then we'll have the straight one there that needs to be cut. We kind of have it figured out. As you can see, we're going to have to cut it to weld the V-band right there. This thing is way too long because the header's way too long, but we pretty much have it figured out. The only thing I need to do is I need to go to Advance and get some, hopefully they have them some exhaust hangers, because this car doesn't have any, because it was running a up pipe for most of its life. So we're going to take the MR2, go to Advance, and go buy some hangers so we can kind of have this somewhat mocked up. O'Reilly's for the win. We have the exhaust hangers here. We even got a new, this is a new ground terminal for the MR2. This one's really loose, but they only had two. I needed three, but whatever, I guess this will work. We'll use two just to kind of mock it up, because we're not going to fully have it installed anyways, because I'm going to have to cut the exhaust, take it to a muffler shop to re-weld it, and then this should be good to go. So I'm going to put them there and there. Let's head home. This is as far as we're gonna get for today, because we need to get this cut. I marked it here. We need to cut it there, have the V-band welded on, and this thing should be ready to go. The whole exhaust should be done. This actually fits pretty good for a cheap exhaust. We're gonna put it back down, and in the next clip we'll be done with this. So you'll see this in a couple days, but we're gonna end it here, and yep, off to the exhaust shop that goes. While we wait for the exhaust, we do need to change a couple sensors. When doing a K24, you do need to run mostly K20 sensors because the harness is going to be a K20. Everything revolves around the K20. Specifically, we need to change the crank sensor and we need to change the knock sensor. So let me show you where these are at because we need to go back and change these. We just installed the new crank sensor. You're not gonna see I had to get under there and crawl, but she's in. Next we have to do the knock, but unfortunately we don't have the right socket for this, so I'm gonna have to buy the new socket for this, and then we'll get back to this because I don't have anything too big. I don't have a deep socket for this, so we're gonna throw this in the Civic and we're gonna wait till tomorrow when we get the exhaust as well, and then we're gonna install this and finish the exhaust as well. So there we go. I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm actually so happy that I kept the old harness in here because I honestly know where everything goes. This is a Type S, this is still a K series engine, so everything goes in pretty much the same place. As you can see, this is a new harness here. Here's the old harness, and we're just routing it exactly how it used to be. Luckily, I never removed the old harness, even though it was cut to pieces. I kept it because I knew this was gonna be difficult and confusing if I took it off. So I know exactly where everything goes, so we're just gonna finish it off and then I'll show you how it looks. Well boys, as you can see, it's a couple hours later, but the harness is officially pretty much kind of done. We even routed it to the back is behind the battery going through the stock location. What I've been told is a lot of people run this wiring harness actually through here, but honestly, I don't think it has enough room. I don't know how they're doing it unless they're like taking all these connectors out and just shoving the individual wires through there. I personally think this looks better. I don't know, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? And the whole front of it is done as well. The only thing that I'm missing is the knock sensor is not connected, the starter is not connected, and the alternator is not connected because I didn't know this, but these harnesses are actually two-pieced. We have a second part that goes to the starter, knock sensor, alternator, and I don't have that, so I'm gonna have to order the charge harness. So it's just gonna sit like that for the most part. Everything else is hooked on and she's ready to rock. What I'm gonna do now is go inside, get the rest of the intake from K2 and install that, or Hybrid Racing. I don't even remember what I got it from, but we're gonna get the intake and start installing that. Hybrid Racing, there we go. We're gonna get the Hybrid Racing intake, open it up, and keep going, man. All I know is I better get a sticker because that's really what I want. I bought a intake with a $100 sticker, free intake, comes with a sticker. This stuff was super expensive. So Hybrid Racing, where's my sticker? All right, so we have, I don't even know what this is. We have the filter. I mean, it looks like high quality. Whole bunch of brackets. Wow, okay, this is probably a more intensive install than I thought. We got the sticker. All right, we got the sticker. What is this? The pipe. Holy cow, that's it? That's it? $160 for this? Come on, Hybrid Racing. You should, I don't see how this is $160. But we're gonna look at instruction videos because I have no idea how this goes on. So yeah, let's look at that and then we'll start installing. It's about 20 minutes later. I did a little bit of research and this is actually pretty simple, but all the videos I've watched says that this intake apparently fits poorly. We'll see, but this intake all depends on what manifold and throttle body you're running. I'm currently running an RBC, so this side is gonna go like this. If you're running a PRB, this side will be like so. So this will fit multiple setups. Mine has the RBC. So we're just gonna feed it down. It's actually pretty simple and it's gonna go something like so. It's a little bit close to the shifter, which I don't like. We're gonna see if I can move it around, play with it, but this thing should sit something like so. So we're gonna plug it in. Tight fitment with the clamp on, and we're gonna snug it up and this should be good to go. She's on. It was a very tight fit, but she is on. Next, I have no idea. I know this thing comes with a lot of parts. It comes with a bracket, it comes with a bolt, it comes with a tiny little filter, which I'm not going to use because I'm using the K Motors oil catch can setup. As you can see, my oil from here, from the water pump housing, is going to go to the actual catch can, as well as anything that comes out the valve cover. So we're good there. So we're not going to use this. We'll just keep it for a later project or a later vehicle. Who knows? We'll use it eventually for sure. It comes with this thing right here. It's like an adapter. I think some people call it a V-stack. And that's simply going to go in here like so. There we go. Just like that. And this clamp goes to the very end of... I honestly don't even know. I know this clamp goes to the very end of that. It's going to hook up to this. And this bracket, I have no idea. And these bolts, I have no idea. So I have to go do more research. But for the most part, we kind of have it close. We're gonna go under there, and I think this bracket hooks to the chassis or whatnot. My only concern is if I'm driving in the rain, look at what this pipe is at. Like, I feel like that's gonna cause me to hydrolock, and I will be road tripping this car, so that does scare me a little bit. But let's install this and see how it goes, and I'll show you. So you guys, if you purchase this, you kind of have an idea where to put things. Keep in mind, when installing this intake, you do have to drill a hole for the IAT sensor. I drilled mine. She's on there. It looks a little bit crooked, but like you can see, it's not going to leak. This thing actually holds a pretty good seal. Make sure it's not dirty, and let's install it. I put it close to the driver's side because I don't really want to see it, so we won't be able to see it there. And the wiring is right here, so I'm going to loop it all the way around. Just like so, because the wiring is too long, like so. And we're just gonna hook it up right here, man. It's away from everything, nothing's touching it. And as you can see, she's good, man. I'm not gonna lie, boys, this install was very annoying, but overall, I think the work speaks for itself. It looks freaking awesome. Look at the intake just hanging out right behind the headlight. The only things you are going to have to do is drill a hole. You could drill it pretty much anywhere. I decided to drill it on this side because I feel like nothing's really on this side of the car. I don't want it to get in the way of the hose, so I didn't put it on this side. So we did drill it here, and if it's fine, I think that's good. We're good to go there. The brackets, you're going to have to finesse this a lot because this is very close. As you can see, the bracket is installed and it's holding the top of the intake, so this is not going to go anywhere. But it is very close, and you're gonna have to kind of pull the hose in order to install this. But overall, I think this was a great purchase. I mean, it's hybrid racing. What can you say, man? Their stuff is high quality. I wish this would have been a little bit tiny bit longer, so you wouldn't have to finesse it. As you can see, the throttle body is not fully, you know, all the way in, but because you kind of have to work it somehow. But overall, it was a fun install. Not sure why I keep forgetting to do outros, but I am. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, because the Civic's almost done, and then we're starting on the MR2, which I'm very excited for. We're actually on the way to pick up parts for the MR2. This thing's gonna be wild. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like it up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.